is concerned, it seems like first down has kind of been such a priority. A, how big of a deal is first down for defenses? And B, what are you guys trying to do to improve that first down percentage to where teams aren't getting a lot of yards on first down?
First down is big, you know. I mean, if you give up 10 yards on first down, that's already starting off the drive bad. So, I mean, we just trying to go back to practice and work hard, you know. We got to keep working hard because we giving up 5 yards on first down, that's bad. I mean, we want to keep working, you know. We can't get complacent. We just got to keep working and doing our job.
And how does something like that translate to like chunk plays? Because that's something we've also seen be a little bit of a problem spot for this defense this year.
You know, it's just guys getting out of their gaps and stuff like that. Somebody trying to do somebody else's job. That's what it is at the end of the day, you know. It may seem like it may be one guy's fault, but then it's the other guy's fault. We just got to go back to watching film, you know, and doing all the little things right. You know, we're going to be fine, though.
It's been a couple weeks since you've gone up against a more traditional pocket passer. Is it tough to get back into that, or is that something, is it second nature?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's obviously going to be tough because we face good quarterbacks every week. I mean, some guys might not seem as good as other guys, but, I mean, every week we're facing good quarterbacks. So, I mean, we just going to have to go back to practice, you know, watch film on him because he's a good quarterback. He's at 75% right now, the guy we're playing next. So, I mean, they got good receivers. So, we're going to have to come ready to play, you know. If we don't come ready to play, they're going to run us off the field.
Jimbo said a lot after the game during that stretch where you had, I think, 9 stops in a row. You guys did your job, and you kind of said did your job over. Maybe expound upon that a little bit if you can. Like, what was going right for the defense during that time period?
Well, everybody was just standing in their gaps and stuff. The D-line was fitting the gaps. The linebackers were fitting the gaps. The safeties were playing well. Corners were locking guys down. We weren't doing anything special. Everybody was just doing their job. And then when we stopped doing that, that's when things went downhill. You know, we were missing tackles. The biggest thing, we were just missing tackles, you know, people looking at other things. So, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard when you go from doing everything right to then guys missing tackles like that. It really started to hurt the defense, you know.
Frustrating when that happens, when one missed tackle kind of starts snowballing, like kind of what happens to the defense when that starts happening?
It is. I mean, I can't really say because I missed tackle. I had a missed tackle, that big missed tackle in that game, you know. And it's frustrating, you know, because we in practice, all we do is we practice hard. When you practice hard in like practice and then you go to the game and then you give up big runs like that, it really hurts the defense, you know, and then you lose confidence in guys, and then we lose confidence, and once you lose your confidence, it's hard to get it back up.
At the same time, you've had streaks where you guys had the second half of Ole Miss. When you see it go right, is that something to build off of? Is that something that's positive that we can do this, right?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously know what we can do because the coaches, they show us in film, look, this is what happens when you do it right, and this is what happens when you do it wrong. So, I mean, we obviously know what to do. We just got to keep doing the right things, you know, and go to practice and practice hard and do all the little things right in practice because what you practice, if you do it right in practice, you'll do it right in the game. If you don't do it right in practice, then it's going to go over to the game.
What's it like to kind of be in that gray area where on one hand, you've seen what can happen when everything goes well, but on the other, you see what happens when they don't go well? I mean, is it that frustrating to know that you're literally just one thing here or there from having it be perfect or blow up?
I mean, it's a hard question. I mean, you might have to repeat that, actually. Can you repeat that question?
Sure. The question was just what's it like for this defense to be in that middle ground where you know things can go well, but you also know things could explode in your face too?
Oh, it's for us. If we do everything right, we're gonna be fine. But as soon as we start missing tackles and doing other people's job, that's when we know we're gonna do the wrong thing. So I mean, we just gotta keep doing all the right things. You know, practicing hard, like I keep saying, do your job. Coach Fisher always says that. So if we go into practice sloppy or not doing our job, just loafing around in practice, then I'm telling you, that's gonna happen in the game. So we gotta practice hard, you know, and watch film. Those are the biggest things.
I mean, you talk about doing your job, but I mean, what do you think it's like for guys who they're trying to do their job, but they're in certain roles that they weren't used to now? So like, let's take Derek last year. He's a guy who he kind of comes in and fills in, whereas if now a lot of the calls are on him. I mean, how do you think that adjustment has been for some of those newer guys like him and DeMarcus to a degree, and now we're seeing Fred and Tavares and so on and so forth?
They're not really playing bad. It's just hard. I mean, it's hard to go from barely playing to playing a lot. Like, you never expect guys to get hurt or anything like that, and it's just you gotta have confidence. Like, I mean, I was once young, and it was hard for me to play because I didn't have that much confidence. So I mean, we're gonna be fine. I mean, Rodarius, he's playing good. Fred's playing good. It's just, you know, it's just little things. Like it may be like we might overrun one thing when we're supposed to be in another gap. So I mean, they're not playing bad. It's just the confidence we gotta have.
For you playing young and you had a lot of success your first 2 years here, how did it feel for you to grab that interception, man, against USF?
Oh, it felt good because I all last year I was hurt, and then I turned around and make a big play this game. But I mean, it was only one play. You know, I didn't even play that well, so I mean, I can't get happy off of that. I had to worry about the rest of the game.
So you don't walk around here like I got the most picks here out of everybody?
Nah,
Career,
definitely
nothing
not. I
like
mean,
that?
I'm telling you,
What's
picks
about
ain't. They're not gonna define you because you can have all these picks and then you can miss like 20 tackles in the game. People gonna remember you missing all those tackles. They ain't gonna remember the picks. They might say, "Oh yeah, he had picks, but he always missed tackles."
When Coach Kelly said, Nate, you weren't the main reason we won the 2013 title, but you're one of the reasons we did. You know, what did that mean to you, man?
It meant a lot to me. You know, it was good to see that it was just good to see that somebody really noticed me. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people noticed me, but people tend to forget that I was a big role in that 2013 defense. But I mean, I can't really get into that. I'm just happy that Coach Kelly noticed that.
Going back to that 2013 defense, people may forget it took a couple games for that defense to get to where it was, and it was a lot of the same stuff. Eye discipline, gap control. Is that kind of something that you can have thought of that you know, maybe even though we're struggling now, this isn't the complete product, I guess.
Yeah, it's only the 5th game of the season. You know that in 2013 we went to Boston College and they almost ran us off the field. So I mean, that next week, guys like Tell was like, "Look, we ain't gonna do this no more." And right now, we still trying to figure out who we are as a defense. You know, the Ole Miss, they had a good team. People fail to realize that Ole Miss had a good offense. The second team we played, they're pretty good. I mean, even though we beat them that bad. And then USF, they had a really good offense. They had good receivers, good running back, good quarterback. So I mean, we're not playing against star teams. We're playing against talent. And like I feel like nowadays that it's an offensive game. It's hard for defenses. You know, people up tempo you and stuff like that. So I mean, it's hard. But I mean, we can't use that as an excuse. We got to go to work and keep working.
When you see a guy like Jalen calling out Aaron Rodgers and Steve Smith, I know you guys probably see that on Sundays or whenever you're just chilling. What do you kind of think of that when Jalen's kind of doing things like that, man? And he's at the next level.
No.
Is it?
It's funny.
familiar?
I mean, Jalen, he's just one of those competitors. I mean, that's just how he is. I mean, that's just how he is. You know, he's one of those guys that bring fire to the table, and that's just how he is. I can't really speak on it because I don't really know what he said. So,
Do you guys kind of miss